The only difference between your loneliness and how hard your life is when you're masking as opposed to unmasking is the fact that you're so much more in this delusion and this fantasy of how life is supposed to be when you are masking, because you think that there's going to be this reward. If I mask, I'll get that job, I'll get that partner, I'll get A, B, C, D, E, F, G reward. Whereas when you start to unmask that veil of delusion that tells you that everything's going to be okay as long as you suppress your authentic self starts to go away, because you start to recognize all the ways in which you self-abandon, all the ways that you're falling into burnout, because masking is no longer working. Like, it might have worked a little bit at first, but like the delusion is no longer there. And I think that's why people think that masking was such a better time for them, because they're not able to recognize that they were just as depressed, just as burnt out, just as overwhelmed, upset. The thing is, they weren't acknowledging or validating their experience whenever they were masking. And so you're still not acknowledging and validating who you were when you were masking. You think that you were this perfect person, but you weren't. You were just lying to yourself. And I think that's something that we should talk about more when it comes to unmasking your ADHD and or autism. Is there is a lot of grief and frustration that comes up when it comes to just having to accept how reality actually is for you, which helps you to start understanding your own needs, preferences, and sensory stuff and all that, so that you can start accommodating those things instead of ignoring them and constantly acting like everything's okay. I hope that makes sense. I hope this helps at least one person. My name's Sarah. I'm your favorite self-experimenting coach or companion, and I help get people reacquainted with who they most authentically are. You're an amazing person, and I hope you have the best day.